Shit.
So where do you think we should start, man?
I don't know, just somewhere like start from the beginning or something.
Okay.
Where is it?
So when a mommy and daddy love each other very much, they decide to,
I was thinking like something a little more recent than that.
Oh, okay. I think it was like 1999, 2000. I went to my first day of kindergarten. And,
Maybe just a little more recent, but maybe something that has to do with entertainment news.
all right. Well, in like 2003, 2004, Christian Bale got cast as Batman for Batman Begins in 2005. No.
That's not what I had in mind, but
No.
you know what? Just forget it.
Okay.
Just move on.
All right. Okay, we'll do this, I guess.
All right, guys. Welcome to the first ever ThwakJak Report. We're your hosts, Damian Leyva.
Anthony Stevens.
And today we got quite a few things to go over. Things that happened during the week regarding video games, mainly comic book movies.
And comic books.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it. First topic is Batman. The Batman. Robert Pattinson's set photos were released on Twitter. And, yeah, I think, based on what I saw, it looks like this thing is going to take place late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Just based off of the cop cars and even the way the Wayne Tower logo looked.
Yeah.
It looked very... It almost dated it.
Right.
But it, like, not in a bad way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It made it look interesting. And
Right.
then did you see the pictures of Collin Farrell with the white hair and the umbrella? Like, got me so excited.
That's interesting to me because there's different iterations of the Penguin, but I'm always used to the Danny DeVito-esque one.
Oh, yeah.
Stereotypical one, so...
Well, and that's even what we grow up with as children because of Danny DeVito, they made the Penguin in the Batman animated series look exactly the same.
Right.
So...
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think the movie overall, I think it's gonna shock a lot of people. I think it's gonna be really good. And there's a video out there by John Campea. And one of his viewers sent in the question, basically talking about if the Batman's gonna go off of the Joker, like tone wise, if it's gonna go with that same approach, like low budget type of deal.
I don't think low budget would be a bad way to go.
Yeah.
Because it grounds it. It makes it to where you have to rely on practical effects.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about the unbelievable and fantastical, even though most of the villains from Batman are a little bit unbelievable and fantastical.
Yeah.
But it's the fun of ordinary versus the fantastical.
Right.
So I think it would make very interesting. The thing that surprised me is they're actually using London as Gotham.
Yeah.
So it'll be a nice little change to see something different than like Chicago and the Nolan films being used as Gotham. So well, what we got next is DC's doing another soft reboot with their comics here in the coming year, and basically what they're going to be doing is they're going to be taking old characters such as Batman, Superman, and aging them up and having their sidekicks take their place in their roles. So for example, you'll have Superman's son, Jonathan Kent, grow up to become Superman.
Okay.
I don't know if that means he's gonna be passing away because Superman doesn't age at the same rate or nothing. So, but you're gonna have Luke Fox taking over as Batman, which will be interesting to see an African American character in a cowl. That excites me a lot because you're stuck with Bruce Wayne as Batman for 80 years now. You can't say that it's bad, but you need something a little more fresh every now and then. I know a lot of people... Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people loved back in the day, or maybe in the last 10 years, whenever it happened, when Dick Grayson became Batman for a short time and had Damian as his Robin. It's just another little extra thing to look forward to keep me reading comics at least.
And that kind of reminds me of... There was a story, I think it was sometime last year, or a rumor, that Michael B. Jordan was going to play Superman. Which I'd be fine with that. He's a really good actor. So
I'm just still kind of waiting to see how the DC universe unfolds, because you have, which leads us to our next story. Actually, you have Birds of Prey trailer drop this week.
Yeah, and I think it looks, for the most part, exciting. At least it looks visually appealing. I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more brightly colored.
Yeah,
a lot more poppy than Batman vs Superman or even Man of Steel.
Yeah,
even Justice League wasn't as upbeat as this one looks.
Yeah, it was like bright but like lifeless at the same time.
it used a lot of bright colors, but that was about the extent of it.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting because they're taking kind of a new look at a lot of the characters. You finally get your first look at Ewan McGregor's Black Mask putting the mask on.
Yeah, that was something I was worried about, because I feel like a lot of comic book movies, they really don't stick to the source material.
Yeah.
Like, they want to, like, change, like, something.
Oh, yeah. They'll do that little trick where they'll be like, oh, it's the Black Mask. And then you'll never see the mask. It's just the title he got because he's a cold-hearted dude. Or something like that. Some metaphor where I'm happy they're actually putting on the Black Mask.
I actually got to see it, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised they didn't wait for the movie, because that's not something people would really expect to see in a movie.
Right.
So,
yeah.
And all the other characters look pretty faithful to the comics. Black Canary and Huntress definitely took a little bit of a turn, aesthetically speaking, at least. Mm-hmm. But they look like they'll be true to their characters, which is exciting.
Yeah, overall, I think it looks good. But it almost looks... Well, it is a Harley Quinn movie. But I almost think you didn't really need the Birds of Prey, at least from the trailers. And like, they're kind of like...
So the thing that bothers me, A, I'm always going to bring up the stupid tattoos.
Yeah.
But B, is... If you're going to call it Birds of Prey, just call it Birds of Prey. You don't need the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
The only reason they're doing that is because, yes, Margot Robbie sells tickets.
Yeah.
Because people love Margot Robbie. But you need to build your franchises off of more than just one character. Right. That's why Batman was the only thing they brought out for 30 years at one point.
Yeah. So, looks like our next story is going to be about the upcoming Thor movie. It's called Thor: Love and Thunder. Right.
I love the 80s design.
Yeah, the 80s design. Yeah, because Thor Ragnarok reminded me of like an 80s like cartoon or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had the soundtrack sounded 80s, everything about it.
So, Christian Bale in talks to join the cast. Nothing is settled quite yet, I don't think. And there's a bunch of rumors swirling around about who he's going to play. And we all know that Natalie Portman is going to end up taking the mantle.
Be Lady Thor.
Yeah, Lady Thor. And I guess in the comics, she ends up fighting Thor's uncle. Cole is his name. Yeah. So there's a rumor that Christian Bale might be playing that character. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see when that's all settled.
It'll be exciting. I know one of the headlines I saw from it was character that Christian Bale is going to be playing will essentially be a anti-Batman, which seeing him play Batman for, what was that, about 7 or 8 years?
Yeah.
To do a complete 180 and become like mass murder style.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
It'll definitely give you a different look at Christian Bale, because actually not that much of a different look, because you have American Psycho, where that's all he did. But it'll be interesting to see him kind of combine the two.
Yeah, and that's it's going to be his first big franchise movie since The Dark Knight Rises, I believe.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything he's done franchise-wise since then. Was Terminator before, I think it was actually during the Batman movies.
That was during, that was 2009. I'm glad he's getting back into that world. And, Marvel attracts a bunch of good actors anyway, because their track record is pretty good, so...
Well, we seem to have a theme today, actually.
Yeah?
Everything except for 2 stories seem to be Batman-related. So
you can't get away from it.
Can't get away from Batman. Yeah. I can't complain with that.
I'm good.
Everything I own is pretty much Batman.
Yep.
My skin has Batman on it. So, that brings us to this week. WB Games dropped another little teaser for their Arkham game that they're making that seems like it's never going to come out. It's been driving me insane because it's been, 2015 I think was when Arkham Knight came out, somewhere around there. And I've been fiending for one ever since. Oh, yeah. And last year around October, November, they dropped a teaser that was basically a demon's head, showing a little Easter egg for Ra's al Ghul in the League of Shadows. And this new one is basically like a logo that would go on to like a police badge, like Gotham City Police Department. Okay. And they dropped it onto basically what I would call like a web that has about 8 spots for circles that these logos fit in, and only 2 of them have dropped so far, so I'm assuming they're just going to keep dropping little by little until inevitably they drop a trailer and posters.
Yeah.
One day, hopefully, a game.
And I'm sure it's going to be for the next gen of consoles coming out Christmas time, which I'm looking forward to.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll max out my credit cards just to buy one.
Yeah. It's going to happen. Yeah. So, Scott Derrickson.
What's happening to my Doctor Strange? Why are they doing this?
It's being meddled with.
I don't like it. They're actually making me lose some faith in Marvel, which for over the last 10 years hasn't happened much other than maybe Captain Marvel, and even then that wasn't like...
It wasn't terrible.
It was just not... It was the worst in a great line of movies.
Yeah, I'd say so.
For them to promise me a horror movie, and then to have this happen?
Yeah. And they all took the title almost from Into the Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill, the Clive Barker movie. Yeah. So that could have been an interesting dynamic to have, but now we'll see what happens. Yeah. Hopefully they'll change it too much. So.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, basically Scott Derrickson and Marvel had an issue, a little falling out. They had a disagreement over creative ideas, and they decided to basically part ways, find another director while keeping him on as a producer. Mm-hmm. So, fingers crossed that they continue down the path they were going and don't veer too far into course correction.
That's one of the worst things that can happen. I mean, I think the worst case of it recently was Justice League. I
was going to say Star Wars, but Justice League.
Zack Snyder starts it.
I still want to cry.
Gets fired. And then Josh Whedon comes in and is like, what the fuck's going on?
And you know what's even worse? I couldn't find a Justice League tattoo, or like logo for my tattoo. So I used the logo from that movie to put on my arm, which I'll always be proud of because, it's on my skin. But I was kind of sad that it was a bad movie that I put on my skin.
Yeah. I tried to convince myself it was a really good movie the first time I saw it. I was like, nice. And then I saw it a second time, like, oh.
I was excited when I saw it, and then on the drive home it soured. I was like, but that... no. It just didn't work for me.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Ezra Miller as a Flash, I gather.
I love Ezra Miller as an actor.
Yeah, because like our other friend Justice, he didn't like that at all because he's used to the Flash series. Yeah. Yeah, so which I haven't seen. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. You go from Grant Gustin to that. Yeah. It's the whininess of the voice. It's the high pitch. It's the fact that nothing's taken seriously. Yeah. Because, yes, the Flash is supposed to be giddy, jittery, and just like... kind of all over the place, but he needs to have some moments of like clarity where he can be like a voice to these pieces, and kind of like a voice of hope where Batman shouldn't have any hope, and he seemed a little too hopeful. He gave them their hope back by helping them bring back Superman, so it didn't make a whole lot of sense the way everything went.
And it almost seemed like they tried to make the Flash like the Spider-Man of the universe.
Well, that's the thing, like you put that in almost not any other actor's hands, but there's a few other actors who could have done a lot better. Oh, yeah. And Ezra Miller, in my opinion, is meant for other roles. Like, I don't know if you ever watched The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Oh, I love that movie, yeah.
Love that movie, and he is fantastic in that movie. Yeah. I even like him a lot in the new Harry Potter movies, the Fantastic Beasts movies. Okay, yeah. He's pretty good in those. Mm-hmm. He definitely is better than what he did in Justice League. Yeah. But I also think that's a lot of directing fault, because they gave him scripts. They gave him the voice that he ended up using, and it just didn't translate well. But hopefully, we don't have to worry about that course correction with Doctor Strange, because you do have Benedict Cumberbatch in the role, and I don't think he can be messed with too much. He's a big name. He brings in money,
and he's classy.
Yes, he has a strong foundation that I don't think he'll back down from with recent movies like 1917, which me and him both are looking forward to watching.
Going to the closing topic, it looks like. Golden Globes highlights.
Oh, you mean all the awkward interactions with our boy Joaquin?
Yeah. That's just... It wouldn't be right.
It's just
it wasn't.
It's the most memorable thing coming out of the Golden Globes.
So for any of you who did watch the Golden Globes, Joaquin Phoenix, who didn't watch the Golden Globes, Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor for drama for Joker. And
he seemed a little off.
Yeah, his acceptance speech was weird to begin with. Like,
ran on.
Ran on. This is movements were off, and then his press conference after.
Yeah, he seemed like he was on something almost. Like it for a dude who's a vegan, and that's one thing he would not drop. He wanted to press his vegan agenda and all that, which fine, cool, power to him. But it got to the point where they even played him off with music because they were like, "All right, you just gotta get out of here." And then in his press conference afterwards, it was hard to watch because he was tricked into giving a press conference.
Yep.
And then every person that came out to ask him a question, he mocked, like, openly. One guy asked him, like, "Oh, what was your inspiration for, like, creating the Joker character?" And he's like, "Really? I've answered this question, like, 20 times over the last 6 months." He's like, "Where have you been?" And I was like, you should be a little bit more grateful that people are even out here wanting to ask you questions.
Like, you know what I would do to be in the position he's in?
Dude.
Like, I wouldn't care if they asked me the same question, like, 10 times.
I would kill for a character like that, dude. That'd be amazing.
And another highlight of the night was Awkwafina, one of my favorite actresses right now. She won Best Female Actress in a drama for The Farrell. And she was the first Asian American actress to win that, so history.
And like I said, like I told you earlier, I've never watched it. I'm excited to. I want to now. But I can say just from watching Crazy Rich Asians, she is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the role she had in Crazy Rich Asians with being on the opposite side of Kim Jong. It made my day.
Yeah. Yeah, and normally she's known more for her comedy roles, I would say.
Oh, absolutely.
But in The Farewell, it's like her first dramatic role, and that she like killed it. Yeah. So I'll be disappointed if she's not nominated for a Oscar. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Yeah. Tom Hanks won an award, essentially a life achievement award.
A lifetime achievement award. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see that because he's been doing it for a long time at a high level.
Oh, extremely high. Watching Tom Hanks through the years from Forrest Gump, Castaway,
Toy Story,
my childhood.
Yeah.
You can't... My son's childhood. He asks for that movie every night. Oh, man. Like, he has so many roles that will stick with you for forever. Yeah, forever. So, he definitely deserves it.
Yeah. And he definitely got a little emotional during his speech, which, of course, is understandable. And it's good to see. Yeah. Good to see.
One thing that I'll say that I absolutely loved was all the awards that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood got.
Yeah.
Because, like I said during our first podcast... That was my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, and that was my second.
Because they got Best Original Score, I believe Best...
Supporting Actor.
Best Supporting Actor for...
Brad Pitt. Bradley Pitt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't argue with him.
Oh, no.
That movie, he was fantastic in that movie. Then I believe they also got Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah, which... I'd be mad if it didn't win that. Yeah. I'll be mad if it doesn't win that at the Oscars, because it definitely deserves it. Everything Quentin Tarantino writes is...
Gold. Yeah. Dude, like, that mind, to be able to just have stuff come out like that is insane. Him writing stuff with Robert Rodriguez, Death Proof, the Dusk Till Dawn, Jackie Brown. Yeah. He's a phenomenal writer, phenomenal director. Surprisingly good at acting, too, for being such a good director. Like, you rarely get those directors who go on the other side of the camera and are actually good.
Yeah, and he's definitely good for like what he writes for himself, like for sure.
He doesn't try to make himself like a god.
Yeah.
But he does very well at what he does.
Yeah.
One last thing before we go. We are wanting to let you guys know that we're going to drop an additional video as often as possible on Saturdays. What we're going to do is we're going to give each other homework. Either find our favorite movies and make the other person watch them, or find new movies that neither of us have watched. Sit down, bring you a quick 5-minute each, or 5-minute roughly video of us reviewing those videos. What we're going to do is aim for Friday, Saturday, Sunday releases, Clearly, we had our problem with our podcast this week with the video.
We're going to figure it out.
Yeah. It's a lot of data export to a computer, so until we'll have to get a new computer before we can even do it. So we'll see how everything pans out, but in the meantime, we're going to try to get as much content out to you guys, and one day, hopefully, all we do is give you guys content. In the meantime, thank you guys all for watching and keeping up with us. Thank you for subscribing, liking our videos, liking our Facebook page, following us on Twitter, Instagram, all of that. It means a lot to us. We know it's not big yet, but we're confident that if we stick with our game plan and keep working hard on this, that it'll pay off in the future and you'll get to grow with us.
And also, before we go, we put out a post this last week talking about if any of you have questions that you want us to answer, we're going to be taking care of those. So please hit us up on email at ThwakJak@gmail.com. All the social medias he just talked about, and just let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. And once again, I'm Anthony Stevens.
Damian Layla.
Peace.